Lovelies, welcome back to another episode of McCall Media TV, whereby in today's episode I'm actually going to be talking about a product that I've just launched, and as you can tell I'm really excited. So before I get into the nitty-gritty of my YouTube video marketing planner, I just want to remind you that I am available on social media. Please do subscribe to my channel, stay notified. I do daily live videos and it's quite a challenge at times, but I do love it. And I'm going to be talking to you all about my planner. So just a quick reminder on how to find my socials. Awesome. Okay, so if today goes well, I am going to basically give you a desktop view of my of my computer at the moment and my desktop station. So this is a video planner that I have basically put together. So before we crack on about this, I'm just going to give you very quickly about a minute's worth of background as to how this planner has come to be. Because if you know me, you know that I'm a lady that has my fingers in lots of pies, and I love my digital marketing and I love my tech. But the problem I had at the beginning of the year when I started my YouTube channel is that there's that whole feeling a little bit of overwhelm, because I was researching deeply into all the different aspects of the sort of things that you have to think about in order to make your YouTube videos pop and work really well. I was using Trello as a digital tool. I was using things on my mobile phone as reminders, and then I was writing stuff down. I love my notebooks. And I had all these different tools and things going on, and every single guru that I spoke to gave me a different piece of advice, and I was doing a bit of this, a bit of that, and it was a bit of a nightmare. So I wanted to organize myself, which means I became more productive and I could execute the publication of my videos a lot quicker. And so with that in mind, I started to hunt the internet, and I looked and looked and looked, and I kept coming up with these kind of possible Etsy, which is a fabulous website, but if you actually go look at the content of the planners and the video planners and the marketing planners that they produce, they're absolutely beautiful, designed by graphic designers, but they're not really designed as tools, because they're not coming from someone who is a marketing guru like myself that actually has a real need to work this planner, as it were, as a tool, that as an asset of my business to help organize and structure myself. And what these planners that I were finding out there were doing were giving you kind of like the graphic designer's interpretation of what they think you need to do as a YouTuber, which, let's face it, unless you dive into a problem and you really get your feet under the desk and really sort of immerse yourself in a problem, you don't really know the intricate details and the challenges that a person faces. So with that, basically that resulted in the fact that there just wasn't a planner doing what I wanted it to do. So I set about designing one myself, which is where this little beauty has come about. So let's go back down to my desktop. Okay, so first of all, if you're in the UK, you'll be able to purchase this from my website, because I will be selling these directly from my own home. I've got a box underneath my desk here, and so you'll be able to purchase them with a spiral spine, which helps them lay completely flat when you're working on. And as I like to do, I like to fold the cover back, so that's quite handy. When you purchase from me directly as well, you'll also get a McCall Media pen. So that's just a little perk of the trade, right? So let's talk about this planner. Now, as you can see, it's A4 in size, and what I've done is I have basically got a 450 grams, so it's quite sturdy card, okay, and they've got a soft velvety touch, sort of, I'm not going to say laminated, I can't remember the exact term, but the printer that I spoke to was an absolute godsend, and he was just like, look, you know, if you want to give it that kind of classy touch, as it were, and something that as a product that you want to pick up and hold, give it this velvety soft touch. So you can't see this, but I'm stroking my planner because it's really slick and smooth to touch, okay? And on the back we've got exactly the same cards, and nice and thick. Okay, so what have we got? So on the inside, the first thing, obviously a little bit of a copyright notice, the standard thing that you'll find, and just a little bit like any planner really, if you lose this planner, please return it to the owner, kind of thing. Then we've got, now I'm going to skip through the first few pages real quick because you can't see the text, but essentially a little bit of a welcome blurb from me about how this planner came into existence. And then on this right hand side, I've gone into a little bit of detail about how I have created this planner. And essentially from a YouTuber's perspective, I'm working on a 3 video a week publication schedule, which essentially over the course of a quarter of a year, 3 months, is 13 weeks. And so 13 times 3 videos makes it a 39 planner. Now, that does mean that you guys have got 39 opportunities. All of the different planning pages are numbered, so you'll be able to track where you are. But that just kind of explains my theory behind why I've done what I've done. Okay, moving on. I've given a little bit of a heads up as to what some of the other topics and playlists that you'll find on my YouTube channel to help you in all different areas of digital marketing and online media. And then I've also listed some tools of the trade, so things like TubeBuddy, vidIQ, StreamYard, that kind of thing. As a little bit of a quirky thing, I've come up with my own 10 golden habits of basically running a YouTube channel, just to help you kind of get into the mindset really of what it takes to actually run a YouTube channel, and the commitment and the dedication, and some of the things that you kind of need to lift yourself up with when you're feeling a little bit down, because it can be quite a challenge when you're working really hard and the momentum is really slow. And then on this side here, we have just got a little bit of a shout out because in September 2020, I'm going to be launching my membership site. So that's just a little bit of an insight there. Then we start getting into the nitty gritty of what it takes to actually run a YouTube channel. So I've got a bit of a section here on personal growth, and this little chart here is a way of you just being able to kind of keep tallies of how your personal growth is going, especially if your channel is brand new. So I've listed the months literally as numbers so that you got the opportunity to write whichever month you start in. So it's not dated, this planner. And as you can see there, I've got you can see growth, subscribers, and watched hours. So this is kind of the target to get to that partnership status that most people see as the first true milestone of launching their YouTube channels. And then when we get over the page, because I'm in the UK, I have got a bit of a UK sort of a radar of important dates, and I've listed best I can to my ability that for the USA, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand as well. So all the English speaking sort of Western countries, as it were. Right, now, this is when you start to actually narrow and knuckle down into what essentially is your channel authority. So what I've done is I've given you a little bit of a guidance, a bit like a workbook really, on what channel authority and content planning is all about with regards to YouTube, so that you can maximize and not make basically some of the same mistakes that I've made at the earlier part of the year. And over on the right hand side here, you can see here that I've got a little grid for you. It looks like a little spider's web, and the idea of this grid is that you guys can basically list the main purpose of your channel and then the subtopics that you're going to cover to give you some food for thought. Now I've given you 8 boxes there, but you can obviously add in a couple more as well if you want, or even work with less of them. The idea is that you are only working 1 to 2 levels deep on your channel authority topic. I have got a video on this in the past, so it's something that you might want to bear in mind as well. If you want to go and watch it, I'll put a little thing somewhere up on the screen so you can go and find that. But essentially, when you're dealing with your channel, you want to start with the core concept of what the channel is about. Use these as kind of like your playlist topics, and then off of these will be your videos themselves, and that is essentially your third level deep. Your third level deep, and that is where you need to concentrate for the very first year, I would say, of your channel. Moving on, just to help you then narrow your focus down, I've given you the ability to sort of plan out the next 3 months in a bit more detail. And then over on this side is when we start talking about things like collaborations. Now let me see if I can get my camera to zoom in, and there we go. Okay, so collaborations, if you think about YouTubers, other smaller YouTubers just like yourself that are trying to establish, there are going to be people out there that have the same target audience you, but might not necessarily step on your toes with regards to content. For example, I've doubled up yesterday with a lovely lady in Scotland who is a lady that talks about her YouTube channel and finance and investing and savings and money and just that kind of thing. So nothing at all topic related really to my channel, but the audience that she attracts is my audience. So we did a little bit of a collaboration yesterday. In a few weeks time, I've got another gentleman from the from New York area over in the US. He's going to be talking to me about camera equipment. Now I'm not a camera tech, so this was really useful to me because we'll have the same audience, but we won't be stepping on each other's toes. And this collaborations basically helps you identify some of the different ways that you can collaborate with other YouTubers on your channel. Then moving on, what we have down here, if we have essentially a quality commenting and engagement strategy again. So if you again think that lots of different YouTubers have your target audience, bear with me just 1 second because there's somebody knocking at my front door. Can you just leave the parcel in the cupboard, please? Oh, always the way, isn't it? This is the peril of doing things live. There's like a delivery man literally banging on my door because he could hear me talking. I do apologize. I'll be cutting this out. So essentially what you have here is your quality commenting and engagement process. And if you again think that there are lots of YouTubers who basically have your target audience, and when they release a video, you have all of these different people around the world rushing to make comments on their video, and these are your target audience again. So you can't just go and on there and say, oh, can you sub on my channel and that kind of thing. But what you can do is you can give quality feedback and add value to that other YouTuber's video, and which will elevate yourself as a guru on your topic, on your subject matter, and people will find those comments. And this is a really good way of tracking some of the channels that already attract your ideal target audience. Now, if you move on over, what we have here is essentially a sort of 3 videos per week kind of tracking list. Now, again, I'm going to just show you that in a bit more detail. Okay, so what we have here is basically the ability to list your 39 videos. Now, you could be one of those people that like to plan the entire next 3 months out in detail, so you know what resources you need and that kind of thing, at which point you'll be able to list this and then obviously tick off whether you have planned, published, promoted, or you know, check the performance of your video, and just some extra note space there. Then we have the actual nitty gritty. Now, this is where I'm going to just bring it into you here, because here is where you get to actually concentrate on the video itself. So what you've got is a video title, and then what you've got going on down here is your keyword research. Now, if I bring this up so it can bring in the zoom a little bit more, what you've got going on is the ability to do your keyword research. So you list your keywords, and then you're checking the opportunity of how many searches are taking place on a monthly basis, how many videos already exist on the market, how old those videos currently are to see if there's any opportunity. And then there's a couple of tools that you can use like TubeBuddy that will basically help you sort of test your channel's weighting against the YouTube channel, YouTube environment entirely, and see how strong you're going to perform. And so that is basically the biggest part of the planning process for me, is the keyword research. So I wanted a detailed section where I could really get my teeth into my videos. And then of course with the planner, you've then got the before, during and after, what you're going to talk about as in the problem. Then you can list all the different content sections that you're going to talk about, and then you highlight the benefits of the video at the end. So that's all about planning your video on the left hand side. So on every double page spread, you've got 39 of these. You've got planner, publication, promotion and performance. That means then we have to look at the publication side of things. So I'm just going to bring this back up here. Okay, so with publications, you have essentially got the actual content formula. Have you got all of your content outlined? Do you have any other props that you need? Have you got a call to action? All those kind of things. And then you've got your description. So this is about your meta details actually on YouTube. Once you've published your video, have you got your hashtags in there, subscriber link? Have you got a nice description? Are you using keywords? Have you got a link to your blog article? All the other bits and pieces that you need to check on. And then finally, on the right hand side here, this is where you get to optimize a little bit more of the meta tags. Have you got the thumbnail image? Have you done your SEO keyword checklist and all that kind of thing? So that just kind of almost like a checklist to help you, and you've got a couple of spaces to add on your own content there as well. And then once you've got your video sort of perfected, shall we say, as a published item, you've then got to promote it. Okay, so don't just think it's job done, which is a lot of the problems that people have, because they just go to that point and never finish up on these last 2 sections. So if again I bring this up to you, we're looking at promotion. So we've got engagement strategies, social media, and we've got external promotion. So don't forget, you can network, you can go and talk about this on magazine articles, you know, you've got your blog articles and all other bits and pieces. And then down the bottom here, you have your performance, okay, which is again essentially your engagement, can't get that to show. There we go. So your performance. So basically analysing how well that video is doing in the first 24 hours, first 7 days, first 14 days, first month. And the reason that you want to do that is because sometimes videos do take a moment or two to build sort of momentum, as it were. Let's see if I can bring my camera back into focus, because it's just gone out of focus. And with that sort of momentum, you want to see if it's like a breakaway video. So one of those videos that suddenly has far more have actually subscribers maybe on your channel, at which point, and this is one of those topics that you'll then want to double up on. Bottom here, just to keep your eye out to see if it's a breakaway or a gateway video for you. Now you've then got, as I said to you, these are all numbered. You've got 39 of these double page spreads, which then leads us to the back of the planner. She says when we get there, 36, 37, 38, 39. Okay, so after you finished your last page, what also do you have? Well, as you're going through your YouTube journey, you are going to want to think about different plans for the future, other content that you're going to be covering, topics that people might have asked you to cover, things that you've seen other YouTubers do, and you can start to sort of plan out maybe your year ahead. Okay, so this is just kind of helping you collect your thoughts on a sort of a bigger scope for the next brochure, next planner. And then what you've also got here is future video topics. And this is just a completely empty grid that basically allows you, let me see if I can get this to tune in. There we go. Sort of the autofocus isn't seeming to work at the moment, so I do apologize. But essentially, you've got the ability just to list lots of videos. And the reason I've got these blank bars here is because you could actually start to categorize your videos as you think of them as playlists. So for example, you might do one on keyword research, and then you've got your subtopics that you might think of after that. And then what you're doing is actually kind of organizing yourself for the next planner and your next quarter without sort of actually doing it as a deliberate task. And then that brings us to the end of the brochure, where we've got a couple of extra notes pages. And then finally, we've got information on how to contact me on my different social media channels. And then I've got the ability for you to earn a planner back. So if this is a planner that really does help you and sorts out a load of problems for you with regards to your content, your organization, your management, you can essentially do a little video review on it for me, and I will send you a planner for free just to say thank you. So there we go. We've got lots of different things going on. So that kind of brings us to the end. Now, if you are in a country that basically is outside the UK, I am currently waiting for Amazon to approve my listing of this planner, basically. So you'll be able to order it through Amazon. It won't be with the spiral spine. So this spiral spine won't exist. It'll be more like a regular book, which you'll just then have to fold flat and open. But it will mean that this is on sale essentially globally within the next maybe 24 hours. I've literally in the beginning of this week sent them the details, and I'm just waiting for them to okay it. And once they've okayed it, it's going to be live. And hopefully in the future, moving forward, I am looking at overseas suppliers that we are able to print and do the spiral, so that I can keep the consistency overseas for you guys as well. So that's all coming up in the near future. So I kind of hope that kind of summarizes a little bit about what my planner is about. Really sorry about the man knocking at my door. That was really bad timing. That's the perils of doing things live. But I hope you can appreciate the effort I've gone to today to help you guys and myself with this planner. Now, I will be putting the link in the description below. So if you want to go and purchase this, you can go and find the link through my description and visit my website and place that order. And I've got a big old box underneath here that I will be sending out. So thank you very much for watching. I'm Angela McCall, and this was McCall Media TV, and I will see you on another video real soon.